take a look around and find somebody to War Eagle. It's showtime.
Holy cow! Oh my God!
Well, there's that music. That heart-pumping intro, so it must mean that it's time for me to say hello, Auburn, Alabama. And everywhere around the world where you can say War Eagle and not be greeted by blank stares from someone wearing an Auburn shirt. Welcome in. Welcome to Auburn Stuff. It's been 2 months since I published an episode. It has not been 2 months since I've sat down behind this microphone. I actually have fragments of 3 failed attempts, aborted attempts, surrendered attempts at talking about stuff. Oh, but I just gave up because it's been painful. Regarding the off season, nothing on the field, everything on the field, kind of between the lines and within the confines of Auburn University and its athletic programs has been fairly mundane, as it were, if you will. But the normal, simply annoying, clownish nonsense surrounding college athletics in the media world has been excruciating. And, part of what I need to do here is based on kind of reading the news and watching things that come up from these media people. And, I'm not reporting or breaking any news here. We all know that. But part of what I do is talking about it, analyzing it, opining over it. And it's just been awful. There's been some awful reportage, some very bad takes. And the subject matter has been gross for someone like me who simply loves competition, athletics, athletes performing what they do, and just a general love for college sports and of course particularly for Auburn. City of Auburn, Auburn University, and Auburn Athletics. I don't care about the rest of it. I don't care about advertising. I don't care about conferences. I don't care about fantasy football. I don't care about gambling. I just don't. It's boring to me. I have many other things to do, and one of the few joys left in my life, which is being rapidly eroded, is partaking in the watching of my beloved Auburn University Tigers of all teams competing. I don't care about the crap that goes on around it. So it's just annoying really recently. And I don't know. Call me a terrible content provider. I'm not a content provider. Who cares? I'm just a dude in a studio with a microphone and some equipment and a Podbean show that I pay for. and you all. So I am back here behind this microphone to kind of touch base as we approach football season. How about that shit? It is, let me see. Let me pull the calendar over here and create some great audio, some good radio for y'all. Let's see, what do we got? 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days? Give or take a few hours until kickoff of the 2021 Auburn Tigers football season. And I'll be there. Hope you will too. I guess that's where I would normally say, I hope this message finds you truly well and joyful and that you are preparing to be at Jordan-Hare Stadium on September 4th. Thank God it is a late afternoon kickoff, early evening-ish kickoff. So we won't all have to sit there and roast in the giant concrete walk for 4 hours. We'll only have to do that for an hour or so. But I will be there. I don't like to go to early season games because of the heat. And it's an excursion for me, so I like to save my resources for late fall. However, given the paucity of available football tickets and all of the surrounding bullshit that went on that was related to actually attending a game last year, which was almost impossible. Last year was the first year I haven't been in many moons, decades. Haven't been to at least one football game during a season. So I'm happy to be back, happy to be there for the opener to see how things shake out against the Zippies. Excited to see the new offense, the new coherent, competent, functional offensive theory will be implemented by the players. A very talented group of players. That's the thing that makes this, I don't know, maybe unique is not the right word, but this situation, this transition we've made, this wasn't a long spiraling downward decline into a shallow talent pool like at the end of Terry Bowden's tenure. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. So where you had the next guy coming in and taking over and having to kind of claw and scrap to find a foundational group of players and then slowly but surely build around them over 4 or 5 years. That's not this. We lost some dudes to the transfer portal. Another term I'm sick and tired of hearing. But dudes are gone, and those are the dudes that should have been gone. Hopefully, we would have liked for good young men of character and ability to examine the upcoming situation, the new situation in which they found themselves with clear heads, and maybe some of them did. Some of them perhaps saw a new attitude on the horizon rapidly approaching their faces that in which they didn't wish to participate. Having to compete, having to endeavor, grind, when things had seemed to be sort of given to them. So, goodbye. Oh, and speaking of transfers, is anyone on earth, anyone out there, is anyone out there surprised that Joey Gatewood is transferring from Kentucky? If you are, then you are misunderstanding the dynamic between players who want to compete and players who feel entitled. So, good luck, Mr. Gatewood. Perhaps it's you and not everybody else. Maybe you just got bad luck and bad timing. Who knows? But maybe you will kind of step down a notch in competition and see what you can do to right your ship, to learn a little bit more, to refine your skills, because you couldn't crack a lineup at Auburn or Kentucky. Even though you were given chances, this wasn't going to happen for you. Anyway, enough of that. So, where was I? I have no idea. I'm doing this. Usually I will have my bullet point, kind of an outline, a loose outline of things I want to talk about. But not today. Like I said, I've tried to do this 3 times already, and I just wanted to kind of touch base and not get into anything in particular too deep. Just kind of scratch the surface on a couple of the things that have been dominating the headlines over the last couple of months. And it's been some big news, but kind of handled poorly, in my opinion. So, NIL, name, image, and likeness. Yay. This is a thing that is going to, instead of college football being the framework in which young men can, into which young men can step and grow and develop as humans, college football will be driven by teenagers and what they demand as far as what the university and the coaching staff can lay out for them for getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. For those of you who have not been paying attention, or if you are new, I am not I'm really not anti anything except assholery. I'm not opposed to college athletes making money. No, not opposed to it. I want it done well and competently. I heard someone the other day on, I don't know, a podcast, I think it was, talking about how the situation is going to become, when recruiting, a recruiting tool is going to be a coach sitting down in a living room with the player and the parents and outlining what they can offer for NIL opportunities. So that's great. Let's add another layer of bureaucracy into this nonsense. So, here's the thing. Young teenage high school senior prospect. How about you take care of that on your own? Check in with the compliance department and make sure you're not doing anything illegal or sketchy that might get the rest of your team penalized. But how about you take care of that yourself? We got to have football coaches now delineating platforms for players to make money based on, for 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds who no one's ever heard of in the rest of the world, to be entitled enough to make money because they run around with a ball. Fair enough. I am free market. But take care of that shit yourself. Make an effort at life. Stop being so entitled. And furthermore, this is the kind of shit that I've just been trying to ignore, but it surrounds me. I don't give a shit what kind of chicken or iced tea Bo Nix drinks. It's irrelevant. I don't care. Look, people, if you eat Bojangles because Bo Nix, I don't know, what are we saying? Advertises for them? Markets for them? Well, then you're fucking stupid. If you eat Bojangles because you like Bojangles, then that's great. Because you should like what you like. But what the fuck do you give a shit what some 17, 18, 19-year-old kid is endorsing as a tangential product? And this creepy ass shit where, first of all, we are... See, this is why I walked away from the microphone 3 times. We're in a world I don't understand in which grown-ass men... It's bad enough, grown-ass men, that you're spending as much time as you do playing fucking video games. Now you're paying... Not only are you paying to watch people play video games, children, but now you're going to pay to play video games with some college football player. Good God. Hey. Do what you do, but stay the fuck away from my daughter. Jesus Christ. Go out and lift a weight, you gelatinous, doughy-ass beta male piece of shit. Put down the fucking video game controller and go do something with your life. God damn it. But I tell you what does make sense. Sunisa advertising a leotard. Well, son of a bitch! A gymnast talking about a product that she actually uses while she's competing. Now that's something that can make sense. Hey, this Olympic gold medal champion endorses this product that she wears while she's competing. Well, that seems to make sense. NIL dominating, I don't know. It kind of came and went when it first hit. And it was a whole bunch of like, who cares? But it's just, I'm worried. If you think this, listen, please don't be obtuse. Do not think that this name, image, and likeness money is going to do anything about illegal or unregulated benefits or payments. It's just not. It's just not. Please don't be that naive. It has simply opened up a world in which the cheating can take on... Well, you know what? Let's not call it that. Cheating? I don't know. Is it cheating? In which the chicanery, skullduggery, and malfeasance can just take on a whole different platform. And how it's potentially going to affect... I talked about this with someone before, which is Jimmy Rain. If Jimmy Rain... And I'm just saying this. This is not a thing, but it's just a name that we know that's very powerful. One of the most powerful figures in the Auburn Pantheon. If Jimmy Rain, who was a businessman and a good one, given his portfolio, is going to pay, within the state of Alabama, is going to, pay Tank Bigsby or whomever to endorse his product, wouldn't it be kind of stupid to not pay a big Alabama guy or even a big, I don't know, Tennessee guy? That'd be bad business to not do that in the world of advertising. So it just gets icky. It gets gross. It brings far too many more disgusting people into the fold, but it is what it is, and that's all it is, and that's all it will ever be. So you roll with it, and you try to enjoy the games as you go. Next on the list. Oh, I don't know. How about media days, SEC media days? I know it's over, and thank God, because is there anything more worthless today than media days? Anything at all? Anything out there? Tits on a bull, that kind of thing. Back in the day, when you needed the beat reporters to get all the information out there, and you had a little consolidation of the coaches and some players, it made sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore. It's just stupid. And all anybody ever does is complain about the coaches who word salad and complain about the coaches who don't say anything at all. And then invariably you got some douchebag like Lane Kiffin or whatever other asshole has mommy issues and needs to be heard just saying stupid shit. Sorry, I just picked that name because he's that kind of a douchey turd weasel who would do something like that. I have no idea if he did this year or if anybody did because I didn't pay attention to it. If you're paying attention to SEC Media Days in 2021, you're just really wasting your time. Pay attention to your own team's beat writers and move on. So other than just to reiterate, Media Days is stupid. Moving on. The college football playoff expansion. Yip-de-fucking-do. This is something everybody knew was coming. I'm sure within 20 years, if college football still exists, I'm sure it will still exist in some form, but it won't be anything like any of us. If you're over 35, it won't look anything like anything you recognize. But if it's still around, you'll probably have 70 teams in the playoff, and it'll be just a meaningless mishmash of bullshit. And it'll be like bowl games now where 6-win teams get in. So once again, as I said with NIL, if you think that's going to keep the dark money out, same thing. If you really think that the expanding to 12 or 16 or 20 or 80 or 100 teams is going to make any difference at all in the eventual outcome, it's just not. You're going to have the same 3 or 4 teams at the end every year. And maybe if you're one of the other 20 to 25 teams in the entire nation that can compete at all on that level, then every now and again your team will make it into the playoff, so you can say that. I guess it'll go from coaches saying, we made a bowl game, to we made the playoff. There's 70 teams in the playoff. Who gives a shit? But I see the immediate benefit of getting more SEC teams in. Like Auburn, if the 12-team playoff existed in the last 25 years, Auburn would have been in it a significant number of times. Would they have advanced past a game? Who knows? 2004, of course, could have been an entirely different story. A couple of other years along the way, 2017 would have been an entirely different story, but which brings me to the scenario which I've dreaded. Okay. I'm fucking sick and tired of the SEC championship game. It's too many games, and I don't like rematches in college football. One of the beauties of college football is bragging rights, and you play each other once, and you bring everything you got to your big rival, and you win, and you got them for a year. I don't like it, and the potential of having in particular, a team like Auburn playing Georgia 3 times is it's way too possible in this scenario, and it's just a horrible idea. And in particular, a team like Auburn, with the schedule that we always seem to play every year anyway. What do we got coming up this year? Like 6 or 7 top 25 teams? And who is it? Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M are all in the top 6. I understand that a loss to a highly ranked team will not be as impactful under a system where more teams get in the playoff, but I don't want to have to play. Imagine playing Georgia 3 times and Alabama twice in one season. What the fuck is the point of that? So you're still going to have, for the foreseeable future, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and insert 4th team here. Oklahoma some years, Oregon some years, maybe Auburn some years, whatever. But it's not going to be, there's really largely going to be no difference in the ultimate outcome. It's just going to be a different way to get there. And super. I just don't like the idea of the potential of that many rematches. Which kind of dovetails into the old super conference. Now the SEC is a super conference. Got Oklahoma and Texas coming in. Thank God, because Texas is back, right? Oh my fucking God. Can you imagine how obnoxious the SEC media is going to be now with Texas in it? Texas. Oh my God. I lived in Texas for a little while. And the Texas Longhorn situation is just about as intolerable. Actually, it's worse than Alabama because, dude, like it or not, at least they got the championships to back it up. Texas hadn't done jack shit in a long, long time. So that's going to suck. But anyway, 16 teams now in the SEC. Delightful. How are they going to do that? You going to go to pods or you going to stay in divisions? And if you stay in divisions, there is absolutely no question that you're going to have to move Alabama and Auburn to the east. Period. What the fuck are you going to do? You're going to have Alabama, Auburn, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, and Texas A&M in the west, and Georgia in the east, fighting it out with Kentucky and Vanderbilt and a Tennessee team that will never, ever be relevant again. So this is a behemoth that no one will be able to control. And this is making college football about something different than what made college football the greatest thing on earth. Once again, another entity that grew by its own merit is now being forcefully misengineered and manipulated into being something that is unhealthy, that it's never been, and that it's a sanitized, multi-dimensional version of the NFL. And the NFL is so fucking boring these days, it's just unwatchable. So, that is what is going to happen with the combination of the playoff and the expanded playoff and this the heading towards super conferences. It's not going to be more inclusive. It's going to make more programs irrelevant and unable to compete on any level and probably crush a bunch of programs. And college football, college athletics, intrinsically, its primary function is not to make conference commissioners and television executives money. That is a dandy side benefit. Once again, not anti-money. I am very pro free market. This is the opposite of a free market. So that'll go further into killing college football. I got Alan Green that I jotted down because apparently there's some things going on that are just not good, I guess. I met Alan Green at an Auburn softball game the year that he came on. He was brand new, just learning his way around campus. And I chatted with him for a few minutes there at Jane B. Moore Field, and I liked him. I think everybody likes him. Thought he was going to do a great job. Thought he was a change in the right direction for Auburn. But apparently, according to, if you can believe what is going on, and this is not some struggle for little fiefdoms within the athletics department, he has narrowed his job down to being a money manager, and that's not what he should be doing. If what is being said is true, I have no idea. Might be that people just want to push him out because they don't like the way he's doing things. But anyway, I don't know. According to what I've heard, it seems like a fait accompli that he's a goner. That right now, maybe he's just waiting for the right position to open up. So that sucks. And then we're going to have to go through another high-profile athletics department related search in which we have to listen to a bunch of morons that don't know anything about Auburn telling Auburn what they should do and talking about how stupid what they did was. So that's that. And it just worked out that the timing was like that the outro came in, and I guess I was done talking anyway. Maybe I'll continue on with this little rant on the next episode. But 2.5 weeks, I'll be in Auburn at the game against Akron, and I'm very much looking forward to it, as I'm going to make every attempt that I can to enjoy this college football season as much as possible, because of so much changing that I think is detrimental to what we love about the sport and college athletics in general. So you all know what to do, where to go, what to look for. Search for Auburn Stuff everywhere on every platform available, and please leave a like and a comment and a 5-star rating and all that, because it helps. You know that if you don't, well, things get lost and things go away. But I'm going to take the equipment with me to Auburn, and hopefully I'll get some recording done while I'm there, maybe do some fun walk around stuff around campus before and after the game. And as I said, just try to enjoy this season as much as I can. As always, I thank you for being a part of this variety show, this podcast. And until next time, be mindful, be fit, be authentic. Sometimes it's all you have, man, but most of the time, it's all you'll ever need. Until next time, War Eagle, everybody.